Mrs. Spear, stop and talk with me for a while. You know what? Mama was looking at her wedding pictures yesterday, and she's very sad because they wasn't in color, so I colored them. It's a surprise. Don't tell her, Mrs. Spear.
Your mother will be very displeased with you, Edith.
Mr. President, this is Deborah Fitterer. I'll be right outside.
It's Fitterer?
Fiddler. Fitterer. It's Fitterer.
I saw your resume, so we don't need to talk about that. What have you been doing recently?
I'm an alpaca farmer.
Like the sweaters?
Before they're sweaters.
Uh-huh. And before that?
Craps and blackjack.
You were a professional gambler.
I like the way that sounds.
Well, I thought I was real blasé and had a lot of sophistication. But I truly am excited. And I thank you all, and I'm just real tickled. But this is not the greatest moment of my life because on Friday I had a really great baked potato at Nibbler's on Wilshire.
Okay. And are you a student here?
Yes, I'm a student here. I'm Sean Brumner. I'm the class president.
And you didn't get into Stanford? Too bad. Tough break. Where else did you apply?
Nowhere. You told me I was a shoo-in.
Nowhere. Not even a safety school?
That's on my transcript. That's Shane Brainerd's transcript.
And you are?
Sean Brumner.
One ringy-dingy. Two ringy-ding. Oh, a gracious good afternoon, Mr. Veedle. I'm Miss Tomlin, your representative from the telephone company. And you owe us a balance of $23.64. When may we expect payment? When what freezes over? No, Mr. Veedle, you are not dealing with just anyone's fool. I am a high school graduate. Now then, Mr. Veedle?
Have you ever transcended space and time?
Time, not space. No, I don't know what you're talking about.
The winner is Lily Tomlin.
Now, are these Ann Richards approved?
Yes. We're really excited that you're here with us.
Thank you.
I know our sisters are gonna love seeing this video. So we'll start with Karina.
Okay. So my first question was that, how did you manage working and succeeding in a male-dominated career such as comedy?
Well, I probably just didn't pay any mind to it. You know, I would have people say to me, I'd work at the Improv in New York, and I'd get up and do 10 minutes or something, or try out a bit. And I can remember people, this is when I was unknown, and I remember people saying, oh, a lot of people said, because this goes back 45 years or 50 years. Hard to believe, but it does. And I would say, I would do whatever I was doing, and people who were hanging around the club late at night, they'd say, how can you do stand-up? You know, you're going to lose your femininity.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was an old credo back in those days. The culture's male-dominated, so men didn't want to see funny women unless they made fun of themselves. They either were homely or couldn't get a man, or they were scatterbrained. I mean, they had to have some flaw like that. I never saw it necessary to do that because I did characters, and I wanted each character to speak for herself. I was belligerent about people who would tell me what to do because I was just hanging on by my fingernails to hold on to my what I perceived as my identity. I don't know that I'm conscious of that at the time, but I was so sure of my point of view and my sensibility. When I hit and made a success of certain characters, then my confidence or my point of view was underscored.
When you look into the word courage, in Latin it means core, which in English is heart. So who and what do you consider like most dearest to your heart, and what are their roles in shaping you as an individual?
Well, probably my mom, you know, my mother and her sister Pearl, who was an older sister who lived in the building with us. in a nearby apartment. She just had all the character and the strength of somebody who would be more contemporary. And she raised 3 children on her own. And my mom was just a lovely, sweet, had a great sense of humor and very positive, very upbeat, and she just enjoyed life. And I always kind of marveled at both of them. They didn't come from any special circumstance at all, and they just made a life for themselves. And my mother was pretty outspoken, especially for that time. I thought she was, especially for a woman who's uneducated. She colored my life very much. And then people like Anne, the people I was so fortunate to meet through my life and my career and the years that have passed. You couldn't be in Anne's presence and not be buoyed by it. I mean, she just kind of turned you on to life and to being a woman and to being strong. I value it. I valued it a lot. I hope you have people like that in your life.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just feel that you're so lucky that you have this background and that you were able to get into the school and complete it, and I really admire it.
The next question would be, everyone has a unique coming out story.
Yes.
That's unique to them. So what's yours?
I was never really in. I was always pretty much out. But I didn't call a press conference or I didn't have a meeting about it with anybody. I mean, I've been with my partner Jane for 44 years. I was always very straightforward with journalists. But mostly people didn't choose to write about it in those days, and they especially didn't write about it if they had any regard for you. I think they thought they were protecting me and other people like me, for instance, at that time. Because I'd done the cover of Time, and they were preparing a cover of Newsweek at the time in '77 when I did my first Broadway show. And even those magazines, and we interviewed, Jane was there, we were traveling and working on the show. And one of the magazines said that I shared a house with writer Jane Wagner, and another one said that the other story said that I lived alone. So it's just the way it went. It was just a different time.
So next month, our seniors will be starting a new chapter in their life, and from what you've experienced and just in general, what could you advise the Ann Richards seniors as they start this chapter?
Jump in with both feet. And be bold, be really bold. Because being bold is very meaningful. It inspires other people. It will inspire yourself if you're bold in your actions or your desires or your ideas. It'll just make you go higher. You'll just be thinking constantly of how much can I push this? Where can I make it meaningful? How can I make it better? How can I come up with something fresh out of the box? And I think it would be extremely choice. And I'd like to watch you to see if you get bold. So thanks for giving me that opportunity.
Thank you so much.
Okay, bye-bye. Mwah.